The center of one of the world's largest medical misconduct scandals in Army history, Blaine McGraw. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Unfiltered Logic. I appreciate y'all riding with me on this journey to 1,000 subscribers, especially everybody right here in Killeen that's been supporting the channel and helping raise awareness to our community. Every like, comment, and sub helps push these real conversations further. So go ahead, hit that like button, and subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into it. This isn't just another story about misconduct. This is betrayal of trust, the kind that leaves real women in emotional and psychological pain. And it happened right here in our own city. Now, before we go any further, I want to let you guys know everything I'm about to share comes straight from public records, official court filings, and Army statements. As of today, Blaine McGraw has not been criminally charged. He is, however, under a full scale Army CID investigation, and the allegations against him are very serious. Now, let's talk about the facts. McGraw was an OB-GYN at Carl R. Darnell Army Medical Center, right here at Fort Hood. Before that, he served as an Army gynecologist at Tripler Army Medical Center in Hawaii from 2019 to 2023. Before medicine, he was a combat officer with the 101st Airborne Division. So this isn't just some rookie. This is a man with nearly 2 decades in uniform in the trust of thousands of soldiers and families. But in October 2025, multiple women came forward accusing him of doing the unthinkable, secretly recording him during exams. Reports say he allegedly used his cell phone, placed it in his shirt pocket to film pelvic and breast exams without any consent. Other women claim he performed unnecessary or invasive exams and often did them without a nurse or a chaperone, which violates Army medical policy. Now let's talk about the investigation. According to the Army, the Criminal Investigation Division, CID, opened its case on October 17th, 2025. That same day, McGraw was suspended from all patient care. Since then, the Army has been contacting past patients to see who might have been affected. Now, here's the egregious part: over 1,400 women in Texas and more than 1,100 women in Hawaii have been notified they may have been among some of his patients. That's roughly 2,500 to 3,000 potential victims. And that's not a rumor, that's confirmed by official Army and medical statements. So now let's start talking about the evidence. Investigators reportedly recovered thousands of photos and videos from McGraw's devices. Some allegedly date all the way back to his time in Hawaii. If verified, that means these weren't isolated incidents. This could be years long patterns of exploitation across multiple Army hospitals. One lawsuit describes how McGraw allegedly pretended to take a call during an exam and placed his phone with the camera facing outward and continued to do a pelvic and breast exam while recording. Now, that's not just unethical, that's predatory behavior. And in a federal facility, on soldiers' wives, female service members, and on women who trusted the U.S. Army's medical system, that's just not okay. So that leads us in to the lawsuits. Right now, there are multiple civil lawsuits filed. The first in Bell County, Texas, on November 10th, by a woman identified as Jane Doe. Now, she claims that McGraw recorded her during a routine breast and pelvic exam at Darnell. Her legal team says she's not alone. Law firms, including Cobo's Law Firm and National Trial Law, now represent more than 70 alleged victims. Some reports even suggest more women are preparing to come forward once they confirm their medical histories. Each case alleges not only the recordings, but also institutional negligence, that the Army ignored warning signs, failed to supervise exams, and transferred McGraw between bases even after early complaints in Hawaii. So I guess now it's time to get to the bigger picture, the systematic failure. Let's keep this all the way real. This isn't just about one doctor. This is about a system that failed to protect women under its care. Military hospitals like Darnell and Tripler operate inside a closed system. That means there isn't the same civilian oversight that you get at public hospitals. Complaint investigations and disciplinary often stay in house. And when those things stay in house too long, you get cover ups, not accountability. The lawsuit says leadership at both hospitals dismissed earlier complaints, even laughed off accusations, and allowed McGraw to keep practicing. If that is true, this goes beyond negligence. It's betrayal at the command level. Now, of course, the Army had a response for itself. The Army now says it's trying to make things right. Both Tripler and Darnell have launched internal reviews of medical staff, procedures, chaperone policies, and complaint handling. The Defense Health Agency has ordered a system wide review to identify where oversight broke down. They've also opened up hotlines and patient support services for anyone who thinks they were treated by McGraw. There are trauma counselors, special victim advocates, and legal aid contacts available now. But let's be honest, support after the damage doesn't erase the fact that these failures happen inside a federal institution. And now, McGraw is having his own personal fallouts. Since the investigation broke, reports say McGraw's ex wife filed a restraining order, citing safety concerns and fear of retaliation amid the investigation. Now, if that doesn't give you a sense of how deep this situation runs professionally, personally, and legally, I don't really know what else will. He's lawyered up with Daniel Conway, a military attorney known for defending high profile Army cases. Conway insists his client is fully cooperative with investigators, but the community isn't buying silence, not after everything that's came out. Now let's think about the human impact of it all. I want you to imagine being one of those women, a soldier's spouse, a service member, a retiree's daughter. You walk into what's supposed to be a safe medical exam, and years later you get a letter saying you might have been filmed. Those patients didn't just lose privacy. They lost trust in every uniform that promised to protect them. And when an institution like the Army fails women this profoundly, the fallout goes far beyond one hospital. It damages faith within the entire system. Now, this isn't the first time Fort Hood has made national headlines for failure. We've seen cover ups of violence, misconduct, and leadership negligence before. And each time, we get the same promises made. We'll do better. But here we are again. Another scandal, another investigation, and another reason the public doesn't trust what happens behind those gates. It's time we call for accountability. But let me be clear, due process matters. McGraw is still entitled to defend himself in court, but due process doesn't mean silence from leadership. Accountability means transparency, something this system hasn't been good at all since I've been here. We shouldn't have to rely on outside journalists or lawsuits to uncover what's going on in our own community. There should have been audits, oversight, and protections before this ever reached the headlines. If these allegations hold true, every officer and administrator who ignored warning signs needs to be held accountable, not just the doctor who carried out the acts. Now, Killeen has strong people, military families, veterans, and hardworking parents. And the women of the city, they deserve safety and respect. So if you or someone you know ever went to Darnell during McGraw's time, or to Tripler in Hawaii, don't stay silent. Contact the Army CID, contact a lawyer, and get answers. Because silence protects the system, not the victims. But let's make sure we learn the lesson here. This is bigger than one man. This is about trust in the uniform. When you wear that uniform, you represent honor, discipline, and integrity. And I believe everybody I know in that uniform would agree with that. And they would also agree that it does not represent exploitation nor deceit. And when leadership hides behind bureaucracy instead of protecting people, it sends the wrong message about what this country is all about and what this Army stands for. Killeen, Bell County, Fort Hood, we deserve better. And the women who served and sacrificed deserve justice. To everyone who watched this far, I want to say thank you. This is exactly why Unfiltered Logic exists, to speak the truth while others stay quiet and to protect our communities through awareness and conversation. If you have a story, a lead, or something that needs to be exposed, just go ahead and reach out. You can email me directly at unfilteredlogic.jnew@gmail.com. Together, we're going to keep shining the light on the truth, because this isn't just commentary. This is about accountability, and it starts right here with us. All right, y'all. Y'all stay aware, stay involved in the community, and most importantly, stay logical.
Ain't no capping in my logic, this that real talk vibe. From the south where the grind don't die, we survive. Mind sharp, money right. Truth be the topic. Welcome to the game. This unfiltered logic. Ain't no sugarcoating here, just truth in the topic. Speak facts, not feelings, that's unfiltered logic. Pain made the hustle made profit. I learned from the struggle, now I profit off logic.